Hello everybody, good afternoon. How are you guys doing today?
Good
Yes, sir.
afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good, good to see you all. So how is going?
It's good, sir.
Good, great. So we are, we have done quite a bit of CSS up till now. So I was wondering that should I ask you that have you got something out of these lectures? What did you get? What did you like the most? And do you feel that you need to do something else in CSS also? Yes, anybody? Nobody wants to speak? Who have done CSS before? Okay, let's ask this way. Yeah, who was doing CSS before starting this course?
Yes, sir, I had done it before.
Okay, great, very good. So since we have done it before, so do you think that we need to cover something else in CSS also?
No, sir, we have covered all important points. Selectors, grid, calling from external inline. So I think we have covered most of the part.
Don't you think that we need to do transitions also?
Uh, yes, so we can do. If we have time, we can do transition.
Yeah, definitely. So we need to do transitions because, whatever the animation happens at the page, it is done by CSS either either through animation or through transition, right? So basically, but the only thing that I have deferred it for, up till now, and I will do it with JavaScript because the control to any of the animation or transition is given by JavaScript. So that's the reason that I don't want to start it now. And then I say, oh, okay. We need to do JavaScript. And then, we will understand it better. So before going into animation or transition, I want to do JavaScript and then I will return and do that. Okay.
Okay,
So,
sir.
and since, in this particular course, we have decided to go for the node as server end. So it would be a lot of JavaScript now in this course, right? No PHP, a lot of JavaScript, right? If you want to know PHP also, you are more than welcome to join in the other course where we are doing PHP, right? Hello, everybody. Have you got it? Got the idea? Ankit Rao, any question? Okay, here is one homework for you also. And homework is that, and it would be due sometime during the next week, right? During the coming week. So homework is that you have to create a beautiful CV page for yourself, right? So this is your homework. So use all these technologies we have discussed. You can even use Bootstrap, right? And create a good CV for you, right? A presentable one, right? Say, for example, if you apply for a web programmer's job, right, or web developer's job, they should be able to hire you, looking into that CV. Okay. And once you have made one, we will discuss this thing that how to host it on a live server, and then you will be online with your CV. So maybe someone of you might have a CV already online. So do you have any one of you has a CV online already?
Yeah, I used to host it with a free domain, but the free domain got
Okay.
expired.
So you did not get your domain?
No, sir.
Okay. So not anymore?
No, I just have the web
So
pages, but
yeah,
I'm
so
not hosting
definitely
it.
you need to have some presence online. So maybe you should make one CV page for yourself. Okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So having said this thing, so let us start with today's lecture. And as I said earlier, that I would be from today, I would be starting JavaScript, right? So I want to know that how much JavaScript you guys already know, so that I can jump on JavaScript, in the appropriate manner. Yes. Who does not know anything about JavaScript? Okay, very good. So Bharat says that he does not know anything about JavaScript. Very good. So brave of you, and I appreciate it. So no problem. We would be doing everything from the beginning, but the mode is little bit accelerated. But if you think that at some point my speed is getting too high, so just interrupt me and ask questions, right? Whatever you are not getting in the lectures, you are more than welcome to ask questions, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so don't feel shy. Since this is a master's class, I go a little fast. Plus, this is not a dedicated JavaScript class, right? So I have to cover so many other technologies. So this is the reason that I go in a little bit different mode. But it should not go, with compromises of your understanding. So if you don't quite get it, please do ask questions, right? And you can even overwhelm me with these questions so that I must slow down, right? And I will slow down if I have to. Okay. Question.
No, sir.
So rest of you are masters of JavaScript or beginners of JavaScript?
Intermediate.
Intermediate JavaScript. Okay, good, good. Okay, great. So having said this thing, so let me share my screen and let's start with today's work. So JavaScript is mainly, it got evolved mainly as front-end technology, right? So, but nowadays and in this course also, we will be using JavaScript at the server end also, right? So in this course, we will be covering quite a bit of JavaScript. So it would be JavaScript, 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 right? From now on. Okay. So having that said this thing, so let me create a new folder over here. So this is your folder. So new folder, and let me name it JavaScript 1. This should have been a folder, right? Let me delete it. Um, so I meant to create a new folder. Let me call it JavaScript 1. Right? And within this folder, let me create a new file, JavaScript basics.html. Okay, let me close this. So as I have said earlier that JavaScript is for front-end technology mainly, right? But we will be using it for server end also. But before we go and apply it at the server end, we will do it for the front end, right? So that you understand for the front end, we will develop your complete comprehensive understanding of front end JavaScript. And once it is done, then we will see that how can we use it at the server end, right? So say for example, let me populate this page and open in the browser. So I come over here and I say HTML basic, boilerplate for HTML. And then right over here, we say H1 tag and knowing JavaScript, right? Knowing JavaScript. Okay, so let's open this page. So plus, so this is localhost, web programming 2020. And here we have this folder JavaScript 1 and JavaScript basics.html, right? So let's know about JavaScript. Okay. So as we have seen earlier that where should we put the link for our CSS file? What do you think? We have discussed this thing that where should we put the link in the link for the CSS file?
Below
Yes.
title.
Below title or within the head, right? Or as soon as possible, right? So basically we do our CSS over here. On the other hand, we must have our JavaScript tag right at the end, right? As towards the end as possible, right? So ideally just before the closure of the body tag, right? So JavaScript tag is like this script, right? So this type is JavaScript, and in this tag now you can give some JavaScript. Say for example, you know that every language has variables, right? Every language has variables, right? In JavaScript, if we want to declare variables, we can declare it traditionally. We can declare it with the word var, right? So traditionally we declare it with the word var. So once we say var, it is for JavaScript variable, but recently for the recent versions of JavaScript we do also have let and const, right? So let me first discuss var, and then I will go and discuss let and const for you, right? Getting me, guys? So for example, I say var x, right? Name of the variable is equal to 3. So this is the name of the variable, var x is equal to 3. Another variable, var y is equal to 5, right? So this is another variable. Now suppose we want to show the difference of two, right? We want to give you the difference of two. So one way to give the difference is to show it in the console, right? One way to have the difference is to show it in the console, and for that purpose we use console log, right? So we say console dot log, and here we can say for example y minus x, right? Say for example we wanted to log out the difference of x and y, very basic things, right? So we have since I'm going to do so much of JavaScript in this course, so I want to build some good strong basics of JavaScript for you, right? So basically var x is equal to 3, y is equal to 5. So console log y minus x. So it is going to log this y minus x into the console, right? So save it and let's see how can we get it, right? We come over here. How can we open the console? Anybody please? Sanjana, you tell us. How can we open the console here? We said that it is going to log at the console. So how can we open console over here? Yes. Sanjana does not want to talk with us?
I'm not sure.
And no problem. Whatever is in your mind, just speak it out. And don't feel embarrassed in speaking out wrong answers, right? Wrong answers are part of learning. If you will not give out wrong answers one day, you will never give me right answers on another day, right? So please, whatever in your mind, just speak it out. Anybody? How would we open console over here?
So we can go to inspect element. From
Very
there we
good,
can
right?
go to
Very simple.
console
So
tab.
we can go to inspect elements, right? So inspect element, and here you can see this is console, right? And if I reload this page now, you can see that it has console logged 2, right? So you can see this 2 is over here. Can you see? Right? So basically we can use console to do a little bit of JavaScript over here. For example, we can say directly we can say console log, or console dot log 4 minus 2, right? Or 4 minus 1, whatever, basic thing. And you can see that it has log 3 for us, right? Okay. So the clear, I think we can have clear over here. So we can, but we don't write too much of JavaScript over here. So basically, we can do console log to log it out. We can do one more thing. If we want, we can come over here. We can say alert, right? We can say alert, say y minus x, right? So if we say alert y minus x, save it, and let's see how does it show up now. So let's reload it. And you see that alert is shown to us, right? An alert box is shown to us with 2 written over here, right? And this alert box is coming from the browser, right? We never created it. So it was created by the browser and shown us by the browser, right? If we want, we can create our own alertable box also. It is also definitely possible, and we'll show that how can we do this, right? So anyways, so we can alert it, right? But most of the time, this is not the best thing we want to do, that we want to alert something, or we want to console log something. Alert we definitely do quite a bit, but not console log other than testing purposes. So we come over here, and there is another way to put this element somewhere on the page. So for example, I come over here and I say that this is a paragraph. So why is it, losing its color? Okay. And say, for example, here I have a paragraph, right? And I want this thing that this result should be shown as the within this paragraph, right? I can write something like this over here also, that for example, I can say that I can say the result is space, and let me have a span over here, right? And I want this thing that the result should come over here within this span, right? So save it, and if you go in HTML, or you look at the page, save it. Okay, so let me express this alert. Actually, I don't want this alert to bother me all the time, so just mention it, because we will be using it. So reload it, right? And if we go to the inspector, go to body, here you can see that we have a paragraph, right? And within the paragraph, we have the result is, and then this is a span which is empty currently, right? Which is currently what? Which is currently empty, right? So we want this thing that this result should go and sit over here with the help of JavaScript, right? So let us see that how is it possible. So we come over here, we say, so in JavaScript, the first thing we need to do is to get hold of this span, right? First thing we have to do is to get hold of this span, right? So if in CSS you need to get hold of this span, what should be the selector you would be writing here?
ID.
No, I have not given it an ID, right? Okay, let me give an ID over here, right? You might be right. So for example, I can say that it is an ID, and ID is result span, right? So ID is result span. Right now, I want to get hold of this particular element with the help of ID, right? So for that reason, I have a JavaScript function which is get element by ID, right? So this is get element by ID. So in JavaScript, if we want to get hold of an element, an HTML element on the page, the function with the help of ID, right? So the function is get element by ID, right? So, but the deal here is that we need to tell this function that where to apply. So we need to apply this function to document, right? So it is document dot get element by ID, right? So document means that this HTML page, right, in front of you. So we say document dot get element by ID, right? And it is going to get the element by ID. And within this bracket, within quotes, we need to give the ID, and the ID is result span, right? Control C, Control V, right? And we put a semicolon over here, right? And then we can save it in a variable, right? We can say that var result is equal to, right? So basically result is equal to this span, this element. So if I want to say, for example, I want to see, for example, that what did I get over here, right? So I can come over here and I can console log result, right? Console log result. Guys, if you have any trouble understanding this lecture, or you think that you have a question in your mind, please do ask it. Don't feel hesitant about it, right? So I say that document dot get element by ID result span, which is the ID of that element, and I want to get hold of it, and I have just console logged that element on the console just to show you that what did I get. Any question, guys? Let me even suppress this, right? Just no console log of this thing. Just I want to console log the element with the name result. So we save it, and once we save it, go back over here, and if I reload the page, maybe after going to console and reload the page, so you can see that it has got hold of this element span, right? ID is result span, and if we expand it, so it has all these various properties which we can access by using dot operator. So for example, if we go down, 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 so you can, so nobody can examine them all, all these properties of one single element, right? Because they are so immense that you take ages just to examine only one. So look, here we have inner HTML, right? We have what? Inner HTML. I want to explore this inner HTML with you guys, right? So let me show that what is inner HTML. Let me go back and let me put something over there. I come over here, I say testing, right? Testing. So save it. So this span is now having testing inside it. And I come back over here, I reload it. So look, this testing is showing over here as should be. But if I go over here, look into this element, you can see that inner HTML is what? Inner HTML is testing, right? So basically, definitely, Kamalesh is also looking at this thing that inner text is also testing, right? So this is good. So inner text is also testing, definitely, but we can, for now, we can reach any one of them, but generally we want to reach inner HTML, right? So basically, and what is the difference? I will definitely, okay, let me tell you, right? Say for example, I put some HTML over here, maybe making it bold. Save it, reload it, right? You can see that this is bold over here. And if we go over here, and look into this inner HTML and inner text, you can see that inner HTML contains the complete HTML within that element, right? Whereas inner text only contains the text, right? So that is the reason that inner HTML is more comprehensive, and we love to reach inner HTML, right? So we want to put it over here. So what should we do? We come over here, we say, so let's, undo this. Let's remove this these contents, right? And we come over here and we say, where is the element? Okay, result is equal to this. So we come over here and we say result dot inner HTML, right? Result dot inner HTML is equal to what? Say it is equal to y minus x. Right? So inner result is equal to inner result dot inner HTML is equal to y minus x. Let's save it and let's run it. Right? So you can see that there's a 2 sitting over there. Right? We can do better. Say for example, we can come over here and we can say that, hey, here in the span, we put a bold tag, Or we can do this thing instead of doing this thing. So we can do this thing that here we put within course we put bold tag, and then we have this result, and then we have this end of the bold tag, right guys, end of the bold tag. Now this would be a string, right? And once this is a string and you want to concatenate this entire string, so in JavaScript, plus is the concatenation for the, so plus is like, you can say overloaded in JavaScript, plus is used for normal plus also, but plus is also used for string concatenation, right? So now it is going to be concatenated with this bold tags, Control S, right? And we come back over here, and definitely we reload the page, and you can see that this 2 is now showing up as bold. Any questions so far, guys? Everybody's good? Say, for example, I want to do better, right? I come over here. I want to do better, right? So I come over here and I say that, hey, these X and Y, they are not, they are fixed, so this is not a big deal that, I'm printing 3 minus 5 all the time, right? So this is like 3 minus 5, I already know that is 2. So for that reason, I don't have to have a code for that purpose. So I come over here and say that I want to give some input, right? I want to give some input, right? So I say that, hey, this is a form. So it is better to have inputs in forms. We don't want to decorate it now. For now, do you want to decorate it? So for example, okay, let's have a little bit of touch of Bootstrap, right? We come over here because we are learning the entire web programming. So let's have a form copied from Bootstrap. So for example, I say google.com. This is said that they have no Google over here, or I have not, made it a default. Okay, so Google, and I say get Bootstrap form, right? And here, get bootstrap.com and forms in Bootstrap, right? So let's copy some simple form. So one is this, right? So this is one, right? It has email, password, right? And submit. So basically this is good because we want to have 2 inputs, right? So we copy this form. But before we copy it, right? So we need to go get Bootstrap, bootstrap.com, right? So we need to copy the link. Let me copy this link. Copy. Paste it over here, right? So this is Bootstrap. I have got Bootstrap over here. Now let me go back over there. And let me copy this form, right? So let me have this form from here to here, Control C. And let's remove it, Control V. So one caution, a little bit of word of caution here. Let me just indent it first and then I will give you caution. And that word of caution is that normally when we include form, for example, we include form like this, form, right? So it gives method post by itself, right? Whereas once we copy the form from Bootstrap, it does not give method post or even action item, right? So, and we need them for the form submission to the server. So be careful about this, that sometimes it happens that we copy the form from Bootstrap and now it's not working. We are jumping on the submit button and nothing is going, and we are not looking at this thing that it does not have a method or action item. So be careful about it that Bootstrap forms by default don't have these fields, these attributes already filled in, right? Got it? So I have just, copied a Bootstrap form, right? And this is the Bootstrap form coming up till here, and Control S. And let me see that how does it look like now in our page. So let's reload it, right? So we have got good form over here, right? So not the best one. I need to check further that why is this form going out of bound. Let me check, go over there and check. Okay. So they are saying.
Yes, we didn't include CSS. So,
Say it again.
do we have to include CSS, Bootstrap CSS or Bootstrap
We have
JavaScript?
already included it, right? You want to see it? So we have already included Bootstrap CSS over here, right? On line number 6. Can you see it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So I'm only concerned this thing that this form is not sitting, this form is taking like the entire space, right? Maybe I need to tame it a little bit, right? So I come over here, maybe give a little bit of my own style. So I come over here. So I say, sorry, link, and let me give my own CSS, right? I say master.css is sitting in the same folder. So let me create a master.css. New file, master.css, right? And I say that form, you take a width of 80%, right? And your margin is 0 space auto, right? Auto means that left and right are going to have the same margin. So we come over here, reload the form. Where is my, okay. So reload the form, right? So now it is better, right? So I wanted it to that it should not go beyond the things, right? Okay, so now let us, manage them a little bit. So we come over here, and have you seen this thing that I have given my style sheet after Bootstrap style sheet? So for example, if you want to change something, so it should be after the Bootstrap style sheet, right? So that is the reason that I have placed it outside the after it. So for example, I come over here, look how they have, this is a form group, and this is a label for first number, first number. So here the label is first number, right? Input is type number, right? Class form control, basically this is the class which is controlling the getup. So let's don't give it an ID. I don't want it to have an ID, right? And say for example, this is ARIA role. If you want, you can give ARIA role here. ARIA roles are like something new but not getting very popular. So here we have the placeholder, enter email, right? And then we have this small right font that if I want to give some help to the for this email, right? So but I don't want it, so I can just remove it. Okay. And then we have this one. So this is for second number. And here, this is the second number instead of password. Second number. Placeholder is enter, not email, enter the first number. Okay, and then we have this second number, and type is again number, right? And class is form control. ID is, no, I don't want to have an ID, right? And we have a placeholder. Everybody knows what is placeholder, right? Enter the second number. So guys, this is exactly how do we use Bootstrap, right? There is no other way to use Bootstrap but this. There is no way that you go and do a course on Bootstrap and then you would be using Bootstrap, right? Because Bootstrap has like tons of different libraries, and anybody can get consumed by learning them all, right? So whenever we need to have one, we just search for it, right? It is like if, for example, somebody says, hey, I'm going to read Encyclopedia Britannica. So what is going to happen to him, right? You can understand that. Okay, so okay, what is this? So I don't want to have a checkbox, right? So let's remove this checkbox, right? And we have this button, and let me have this type as button, because we don't want to submit anything to the server, right? So this is important. Class is BTN primary, right? Once we say BTN primary, so this is JavaScript typical classes for a normal blue button, right? So if you want, you can change it, say for example, you want to change it, right? So let's see how can you change it, right? We come over here, for example, we say get Bootstrap button, right? So Bootstrap buttons, right? So this is the first link you click, and here we have a lot of buttons, right? So for example, we have this primary button, we have secondary button, we have light button, we have link button, we have dark button. So which button do you want me to put? Maybe success button. So all I have to do is button BTN success, right? So I need to copy this, Control C, and instead of button primary, I would say BTN success. Right, guys? So it would be that green button, right? So let me come back over here and let me reload the page. Right now, this is that green button. We have got it, right? And we have first number, second number. So if you click here, it is going to have the first number over here. And if we click over here, it is going to have the second number, right? So basically buttons are there, right? Now we have got the inputs where we are going to put some numbers, right? Where we are going to put some numbers. And now we want to get hold of these numbers and process them. Right? We want to do what? We want to get hold of these numbers and process them. So how can we get hold of these numbers? So similar to that as we got hold of this paragraph, so we want to get hold of these numbers. So let me remove these two things, right? So let me remove them and let me get hold of these numbers. So first of all, how I'm going to get them? So for example, I come over here and I say that I want to get hold of this this particular input, right? So I want to get hold of input whose type is number, right? I want to, so for example, if you want to get hold of something whose type is number, right? So how can you get hold of it in CSS? So we studied CSS selectors, right? So we want to write selector, that selector which is going to get hold of this input or this input.
Input
Yes?
to arrow type.
Very good. So we say input, then what?
Arrow type.
Arrow, what is arrow? This bracket, don't you think bracket? And then we'll say type is equal to number, right? So this is now our select.
Spelling, sir.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Who is our spelling master, by the way? Okay, great. Every group has some, a spelling master who, tells you, hey, brother, you have spelling mistake. Great, good. Okay, so input and the type is number, right? And we want to select this particular, or these particular elements, right? So look, all these languages, right? JavaScript, PHP, right? Basic principle is that if we want to put quotes around quotes, so if they are double quotes, we surround them with single quotes. If they are single quotes, surround them with double quotes, right? And then JavaScript has backticks also. Backtick? Do you know backtick? So I always wonder that this poor creature, which is in the top left corner under the escape key, right? If you press this is the backtick, right? So they have also started using it. So there was one of this character which was under rest, right? And peace without any coding things. Now JavaScript has decided that they will use these backticks also, right? So you can have these backticks. Now for the time being, I'm not using them. I'm going to surround them with single quotes, right? And as you can imagine that I want to call a function here. So I come over here, right? Surround it with the bracket and I say query selector, right? Once we say query selector, it means that it is going to select such an element which will fulfill this criteria, of CSS selectors, right? So, and it is going to select the first item like this, right? Only one item like this, right? So if we want to have them all, so we have query selector all, right? So we have query selector. Query selector is going to search the entire document, and whatever it finds first element, which is fulfilling which can be selected by using this particular selector, it is going to select it, right? But if we want to have them all, it's like in this case that we want to have the first number and we want to have the second number also. So if we want to have them all, so definitely, we need to have query selector all. Got it? Any question? Right? So we can say query selector all, but the deal here is that we need to tell this thing that where you want to send this query. So this is the document. So document dot query selector all, right? So document dot query selector all. So we want to select all those elements which are fulfilling this criteria, and let's put them in a variable. So we say variable. So those people who are, by the way, what is the relationship between Java and JavaScript? The relationship, huh?
No relation.
No relation, yeah. So the relationship between Java and JavaScript is the same as the relationship between car and carpet, right? So this is the relationship, right? So basically Java is entirely different language. JavaScript is entirely different language. Java is TypeScript, strict type language, right? Whereas JavaScript is very loose type of language, right? Here, we can put anything in the var variable, right? So, or in the let also, or I will introduce that later on. So for example, I say that var inputs, right? Inputs is equal to this. And let me just comment this out for the time being, and let me see that what did we get once we got these inputs. So I just console log inputs. Right? I want to see this thing that what did I get through this query selector all, right? And I just want to check this thing that my selector by itself is good, right? And save it. And this is exactly we code, by the way. We never write a bunch of code and then test it. We test each and every line, right? Why? Because, for example, if this is one line of code you added, so it might be right or it might be wrong, error would be over there, most probably, right? So, but if you have added two lines of code, and now you test it, so now there are how many possibilities?
2.
Now there are 4 possibilities, my dear, 2 raised power 2, right? Error could be here, error could be here, error could be in both of them, right? So they are kind of 4 error might not be anywhere in these 2 lines, right? So basically there are 4 possibilities. If you have typed in 3 code lines, right, how many possibilities are there? 8 possibilities, right? So basically number of possibilities grow exponentially with the number of lines of code, right? So basically it is never wise that you write a bunch of code and then you debug, right? Very unwise, right? So basically this is my normal practice, that no matter what, I add 1 line of code and I love to test it, right? So save it. And by the way, this is actually a different kind of coding we are into now. Previously we were doing CSS, right? And CSS was like cooking. Yeah, by the way, just let me tell you one more thing, that it is most difficult to debug CSS code. Yes, why? Because,
Sensitive.
yes, please.
It's very sensitive.
Yeah, this is one thing, but the other thing is that, in this code, which we do, like JavaScript or PHP or C or C
Can
Sharp,
debug line
it
by
has a
line.
flow, right? It has a flow. CSS does not have a flow. CSS is like cooking food, right? So sometimes you don't understand that which ingredient is coming from where, right? And you have to track this. And though, by using amicably using inspect element browser tools, right, you can do it, but still, I feel it always difficult to debug CSS, right? So we come over here and we say that console log input, and let's see that what did we get. So let's reload it. Right? You can see this thing that it has a node list, right? And the node list has got input form control and another input form control. It has 2 elements, right? So this node list is having 2 elements. Number 1, this first, enter the first name, right? Enter the first number tag, and this is the second one, and it has of length 2, right? The length is the property. If you want to reach the length, you can use it like inputs dot length, and you are going to get hold of the length, right? And if you go into its prototype further, right, so you will see this thing that it has various properties which you can get, and one of them is value. Okay, so one of them is value, which I want to tab into. So rather, let me go over here in one of them, and here you will have the value, right? I was looking at the wrong place. So here you will have the value which we want to tab into, right? So where is that? This is the default value, right? And then form, different things, right? Go down there alphabetically, and here you will find. So you can never get hold of all these properties, right? So there are so many of them. So if I go a little bit faster, so value, right? So this is the attribute we want to tab into, right? So let's see how can we tab into this thing. So we come back over here. So let's remove it, right? Let's remove this console log. Now the deal is that, or the question here is that, when do we want to run this code? When do we want to have the result?
And user click on submit button.
Say it again.
User click on submit button.
Yes, then definitely, we want to execute some code once there is a click of button, it means that we need to get hold of button also, right? We need to get hold of what? We need to get hold of button also. What do you think? Right? Hello, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let me get hold of button, right? So I come over here and I say var submit button, or maybe calculate button, you know, whatever you want to say, calculate, or maybe compute, right? So we say compute over here, and maybe this is compute button. So JavaScript recommends that you use camel case, right? JavaScript recommends that you use camel case instead of using kebab case or underscore case, right? Use camel case. You know what is kebab case? There is one kebab case also, right? It is from you know, our Indo-Pak. So basically coming over here, so we have compute button is equal to so let's get hold of it. So please help me to get hold of this button, right? So how I'm going to get it? Yes, please.
Document.query selector.
Document dot query selector, right? We can use query selector all also, but since this is just only one button we want to get hold of, so this would be just query selector. By the way, there is a difference here. Query selector all is going to send us a list, right? It is going to give us a list, right? As you saw earlier in console, whereas query selector is going to give us one element only, right? Got it? So in general, whenever in JavaScript you are going to have more than one elements, right? So you are going to have a list or an array, right? Wherever you are going to have only one element, or you know, then you are going to have that one element. You don't have to have access it through index, right? So we come over here, we say document.query selector, and then what should we give over here? Within quotes,
Button type button.
Button and type button. Yeah, definitely we can give this, but we can also, you know, do it a little better. For example, we can say button. So it will look for button tag dot btn, that it is decorated with class btn dot btn success. Btn success, right? So basically, you know, in this way we are saying that we want to select that button which is decorated with the class btn and which is also decorated with class btn success, right? So we can write any kind of css selector over here whatsoever it is. Any question, guys? Any question? Right? So basically we are getting hold of this button, compute button, and now we want to say this thing that once this button is pressed or clicked, then, you know, do something. So this thing is known as that we want to attach or add an event listener with it, right? We want to attach what? We want to attach an event listener with it, right? That it will listen. It will listen to the event that, hey, some click is made and now I have to do something, right? Are you getting me, guys? So we come over here, we say for example, you don't know that how to use event listener, right? So let's see that how can we get hold of it. So for example, we come over here, we say that we could go over here, maybe add another tab, google.com. Sometime I'm very lazy, right? So I have not added this. Does anybody know of these, you know, off their head that how can we add Google as the default browser? I know, go to setting and do something, right? So we come over here and we say, what should we say? We say add event listener, right? Add event listener, right? And say W3 school or was a MDN link, right? So maybe this one. So event.target.add event. Event.target means that wherever it is happening, for example, in our case, button, right? So how does add event listener work, right? So we come over here. Let's see the documentation a little bit. So syntax is that target.add event listener, and then you will say, tell the type. Type means that what kind of event you want to listen, right? What kind of event you want to listen, right? And then here you have the listener, and listener means that here you are going to have a function, right? Here you are going to have a function which will execute upon the happening of that event. And options, we will discuss once we need them, right? So if you scroll a little bit further down, you will even find some good example over here if you don't understand that thing. So for example, this is a function, event handler, right? And this is a function, and look, here we are doing this thing, event listener thing, for example, over here, right? So what's happening? What's happening here? This element dot add event listener, and this event is mouse up, and this is that function which is going to execute here, right? So let me show you by an example over here so that you can understand it better that what's going on. Any question, guys? Wait a minute. So somehow I have packed you all somewhere. Let me have you all back in front of me. Okay, so having said this thing, we come back over here and we say compute button dot add event listener, right? And event listener is going to listen what? Event listener is going to listen click, right? And once it will listen the click, right? So it will run a function. So basically this is known as higher order function. So add event listener is a higher order function. So basically it is having a function within itself, right, which will execute according to its so it is having a function as an argument, you can say, right? So we say that, hey, compute button add event listener, and your event is click, and once your click is made, we are going to run this function, right? And what is this function? So let me put it up there. Right, and let me come over here and I say that, hey, what do I want to do? I want to get hold of two values first, right? I want to get hold of two values, right? So I come over here, I say var first number is equal to first number. What would be the first number? So first number would be coming from inputs, but which one?
0.
0, sub-0 dot value. Right? So whatever the value over there, we are going to get hold of it in first number. Then we'll say var second number is equal to inputs sub 1 dot value. Right, guys? Are you getting me? Look, definitely this is master level class. I want to go a little faster, but I would say this thing that it should not compromise your understanding. So my understanding is this, that whatever being covered in the class, you must get it within the class. So if you are not quite getting it and you think that there is some shadow or there is lack of understanding, you must ask question, you know, abruptly, spontaneously, right over there, wherever you have that question, right? Don't let it go. Okay. So var second number is equal to inputs. And let me tell you that when I was doing my PhD, I was like 40 plus and having family, and many of my instructors were even younger than me. But I never felt embarrassed to ask questions. I always ask questions because if since I'm in that class, so if I'll not ask questions, then who will ask questions? And plus, you know, if I know the stuff, then why I'm in this class? So if you are in this class and you know everything, then you should not be in this class. You should be in some other class, right? So basically to ask questions, I definitely encourage you. Okay, so first number is equal to this and second number is equal to this, right? And then we find the result also, right? And we say that, for example, we say var. Did we get the result previously? Result is something here, right? So let me not get the result. Let me just say this thing, that once you have had these numbers, right, what should we do? So I have got this result as an element, right? So I want to put this thing where I say result dot inner HTML is equal to second number minus first number, right? So once, you know, what will happen, that whenever the click would be made on this button, compute button, this particular function will run, and what is going to do that it will get hold of the first number, it will get hold of the second number, and then it will compute the difference and put the difference into the inner HTML of the result, and that's how we are going to display our result. Sanjana, have you got it, or you are not quite getting it? Please do ask questions if you are not. Sanjana, I want to hear from you.
Okay, sir. I got it, sir.
You're good?
Yeah.
Bharat, the brave boy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I want to hear from you.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Fully, there should not be any doubt whatsoever.
Okay, sir. Yes.
Right? So basically, normally people come to this point like after 10 lectures in JavaScript, but you know, I have a different style, teach JavaScript. So I jump in the middle of script. Right? Okay, any question? Got it? Okay, let's save it and let's see that everything is hunky-dory and it's working as we want to. Okay, so we come back over here. So reload it. Right? So we, for example, enter the first number, maybe 34, right? Second number is 54, right? And we press compute and result is 20. Right? Result is 20. You're getting the idea that how we are doing it? Right? So basically we have learned this thing, that how can we get hold of elements, and this is looking ugly, right? When compared to the rest of the form, now it is looking ugly. So how can we do it? So okay, how can we beautify it, means to say. So one thing I can do is that I can put it into the form by itself. So instead of having it outside the form, I can have it within the form, so that at least it you know, obeys the boundaries of the form, right? So I can have it over here after the button. Save it and let's run it just to see that how good does, you know, it looks like. So I think that it is better now. At least it is matching the environment, right? Any questions so far? So if we want to test this thing, so for example, we can say 54, 54, compute, right? The result is 0. So one more thing we can do is that, once we press this button and we have computed the result, these remnants of input should go away, right? Do you believe in it? Right? These remnants of this 54, etc. should go away, right? So we come over here and we say, what should we say?
Inner HTML is equal like blank.
Say it again.
Uh, we can again put inner HTML is equal to blank.
Not inner HTML in this case, value, right? Because
Yeah, value.
the
Sorry, value. Yeah.
inner HTML is something which is between opening tag and the closing tag, right? Whereas for input we have values, right? So we can say this thing, that both of these things that value should be equal to blank, right? So this was the initial value. I saw it once I was examining it, right? So I can say that, make them blank, save it, and let's run it again just to see that everything is good as we want it to be. Okay, so let me run it at least once. So reload. So for example, 100 and 200 compute, right? So you can see that those elements, those things are gone. Right, guys? Any questions so far? Okay, let me send you this code, right? Let me send you this code so that you can have a look at it and work with it, and then we'll come back in 10 minutes to further work on it, right? I want to give you a little bit of, since this is our first class in JavaScript, I want to give you a little bit of breathing space so that you can understand that what is going on over here. So let me send this code to you. How should I send it to you? Huh?
Commit.
Git.
Git commit.
Git, yes, right? So let me open a new command window, cmd, new command prompt, and let me cd to your folder. What is the folder name? Mean stack. So this is the folder. This is you guys. Hello.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Okay, good. So cd space, okay, sorry, cd space this, right? So we are here, say get. So first of all, check this thing that everything is saved, right? There is nothing which is unsaved here. So yes, everything is saved. And let me come back here. We say get status, right? So status is that we have got this JS1 folder, which is new untracked. So we say get add dot, right? Then we say get what say commit -m. So JavaScript starts, right? So basically we have got these committed, and next git
Push.
right? And here it goes to the repository, online repository, right? I will unshare my screen, stop share, and I will love if somebody can share their screen. Someone who has already got the previous code.
Yes, sir, I will do it.
Okay, please share it.
If Manthan, you want to do?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, you have to give permission.
Oh, sorry. Thank you very much for letting me know. So show share screen. Yes. Okay, great. Play screen. Okay, yeah, of course. Okay, just a minute. Let me see this in this folder in your editor window.
In in at in Atom folder.
Atom, yeah, in any window, you know.
Yeah.
So this is, you know, you have got the previous stuff. Very good.
Yeah.
And you know, definitely you don't have that JavaScript folder for now, right? So and you know, go back to your terminal. And here, you know, are you in the folder? Yes. So here,
Yes.
write git status. So you are,
I don't know what is this file actually.
okay,
The,
this .ds store, you know, this is some file actually your Mac and Unix like environments make for some housekeeping, right?
yeah.
So don't worry about it. So one thing you can do this thing, that go back to your folder, show me in your editor. And here, you know, yeah, yeah, this is, just don't open it, right? I know this file exists, right? So just, you know, come over here and go to your main folder, the main folder. Yes, and here create a new file. So new file, and name this file dot git ignore. Dot git ignore, small, all small. Dot git ignore.
Right.
Yes, and here write backslash. Yeah, just press, not backslash, other one.
Oh,
Yeah, dot, whatever the name of this file, dot ds store, dot ds underscore store. Only the name, not the entire file. Dot ds underscore store. Right? Save it, close this file. Save. So dot git ignore is the file that whatever you'll put over here in this file, it would be ignored from committing, right?
right.
So, right, so save it, right? And just go back over there in Git. And here, once again, write git status. Okay. What is this now? It is showing, okay, dot git ignore, right?
Git ignore.
Yeah, git ignore, dot git ignore, right? So it should
Right.
not show this file over here. Let me do one thing. Can you open your browser, please? Let me see that if I'm doing something wrong here. Otherwise, I will check my notes. So come over here and I say Google it, dot git ignore. So it should be one word, git ignore documentation. Yeah, go over here. Yes. So what does it say? Okay, specifies files which need to be ignored, right? So ignore. Did you write the right spelling? Right? Dot git ignore. There's a dot in upfront. No, there should be a dot.
Yeah.
Okay. Save it. Okay, and it is saved. Go back over there. And
Here.
once again, CLS. Clear, sorry, clear. And write git status. So it is, what does it say? Use git add to include what will be committed. Okay, great. So just use this thing, git add dot space dot, git add space dot, right? Enter and git status. Okay, I think that we have to commit it. I never looked into this much detail about this dot get ignored, but let's check this thing.
Yeah.
So just see git commit -m space just created dot get ignore. Right, so what does it say? One file committed, clear? Yeah, so you are so this is clean and everything is good, very good. So now check me, show me the branch. So go and say git branch. So you
I
are
mean,
on your Menthon branch, right?
no.
So yeah, so go back and go to the master branch. So git checkout master, right? And get checkout master, and now you should not have that get ignore file. So go back over there. No, this is okay.
Okay.
So
Git master.
no, it's okay. It's, you have already get checkout master, so you are on the master branch, right? Go back and create this git file over there also, git ignore file. Go back over there and see that, do we have that file?
No.
No, right? So just save this file in this branch also. Right, good, save it. Okay, great. So go back and commit over here also. So git add dot, git commit -m, good. Very good. Course close. Did you close the course? Yes. CLS, clear, sorry, clear. And now here, write git status. So what does it say?
It's clear. Clear.
It's clear, you are on branch master. Does it say somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now you need to have git, what is that? Git fetch?
Git, yeah. Git fetch or git.
Git
Also, I
fetch
can.
origin space master, right?
So,
What is the complete command? Please look into it. Git fetch origin space master, right?
and also I can like I guess it will also work with the pool.
With what?
Pool command git pull origin master.
No. You need not to pull, right? I just use git fetch, right? So git fetch origin space master, right? So, okay, what has happened?
Done. Yeah. It fetch.
Huh?
Yeah, it fetched the file.
It has fetched the file? No, it would not be here, right? It would be in, let me tell you this thing again. So show git branch, right? Git branch -r, -a, enter. So basically you see this thing that you are on the master branch, right? But
Yeah.
here you have another branch, which is remote / origin / master, right? So once you have fetched it, it has come to this origin / master branch,
Okay.
right? So, you know, if that command was good, so it will come over here. And now you will say git merge origin / master. Or you can, yeah, you can check this thing, git status. Just check git status. Right? So you're on branch master, your branch and origin/master have diverged and have one different commits each. Okay, so basically, okay, it has, so basically you have one different commit, right? So basically in
I
master branch, you have one commit and one commit
yeah
is coming from me, right? So let's merge
yeah.
it,
It
right?
was a use git pull to merge the remote branch into
No,
yours.
no, don't worry about pull, right? Just write git merge origin/master. Enter. What does it say?
Tell
Can you
why the
enlarge the font size a little bit? Okay, great. Please enter a commit message to explain why this merge is necessary. Okay, just write some message. Okay, they are saying that just read it a little bit more. So it is saying that please enter a commit message to explain why this merge is necessary, especially if it merge is uploaded upstream into a topic branch. Okay, lines starting with hash will be ignored and an empty message, okay, force the commit, right? So here write the message that getting code for JavaScript. So wherever the cursor was, don't delete anything.
okay.
Just
But
go down there where the cursor was previously. So Git is working a little different on Mac. So go down where the cursor was. Okay, just press enter. Okay, yes, here I wanted to come.
can I exit from this?
Yeah, just write the message,
Okay,
getting
right.
code. I think this is Vim terminal open. Vim is the pain, you know. So just enter a message. Go to a new line because hash is command it is telling you. And once you want to quit, it is at the rate Q.
Q, yeah.
Yeah. So just without hash, type one line of text.
But I don't know why it is not like going to the.
Say it again.
I don't know why it is not recording. Like
It is not letting you type.
no,
Okay, maybe you have already escaped from here. So if you go down this line where the cursor originally was, it's not letting you go over there.
no,
If
sir.
you go towards the end of this line, further right,
Yeah, it is not going.
okay, press enter.
Yeah,
Okay, go back. Just delete this line with the delete button.
yeah. I'm trying, but it is not doing.
Okay, I think that you have to.
Just
So
restart.
just okay.
Uh,
If we edit, you know, we come over here and go to the edit window.
just,
Okay, terminate. Let's terminate. Let's see what happens. Right. Go back. Open. Do you have Git Bash?
no, sir.
Okay, no problem. So go back over here. Just see Git status. Okay, what does it say?
Um, changes to be committed.
Thank you very much. So, okay, let's have this suggestion. Git pull to merge the remote branch into yours, right? So use git pull. You know, I don't use it normally, but okay, as it is suggesting.
Origin.
No, do we need to give something? Look, it is saying git pull, just git pull, because that branch is already a tracking branch. Enter.
You have not
Okay, you are not connected to your
uh,
concluded your merge, right? So this is please commit your
wait,
changes before merging, right? Good. So use git commit -m and message got JavaScript code, right? So now is this okay? Uh, is it done now? Success message is this? So just select get status.
yes,
Right, good, very good. So clear screen and go back to
go
your
back to.
editor.
Okay.
And here you should be able to have JavaScript code, right? So someone else wants to do the same thing just for testing purposes so that you understand that what's going on over here. Bharat, you want to do it with me? Manthan, thank you very much. You can unshare your screen.
Uh, so I have a doubt.
Yes.
Um, Actually, we can use two commands, right? The git fetch and git pull. Like what I'm
Right.
doing is like,
You're right. So the
first
deal
of all,
here
I'm
is, my
cloning the
dear.
directory.
Okay. The deal here is that I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just want, maybe this is your answer. That git, once we use git fetch, we need to have git fetch and then git merge to merge it, right? Git pull does the work for both of them, right?
Okay,
Was
sir.
this your question?
Yeah,
Okay. Any further question about it?
no, sir.
Okay. Okay. So anyone else wants to volunteer to get the code? Bharat, would you like to?
Yes, sir, I just did it watching
Okay,
him.
you have already done it.
I
Okay,
just did it.
good, good. Anybody who could not quite do it and wants to do it with us? Sanjana, have you got the code? Sanjana, have you got the code? Have you got it?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay, okay. So why don't you share your screen with us and let's do it for you so that you get a hands-on experience that how to do it. Right? Once you do it with your own hands, then you understand what's going on. Otherwise, Git remains a mystery. Okay, so have you got previous code already?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
Oh, you have not received any code yet,
No, sir.
right? So okay, let's give you this first chance to get the code. So are you running some server like XAMPP server or WAMP server?
I have added.
Atom is the editor, right? You are running WAMP server. If you go on the top, second column, this is the WAMP server, right? So you go to your C drive, and you go to your WAMP 64 WAMP 64 folder, www folder, and here you have. So just make a new folder over here with the name summer 2020. Enter. Right, go into this folder and copy this path to this folder from your this path bar, copy this entire, no, don't do this thing. So just go and click over here, yes. No, not here, yeah. Right, copy this string, this path, the entire path to your folder, copy it, right? And go to your terminal. So cd space Control V, enter. Okay, and by any chance, have you got Git already
Yes, sir.
installed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Show us Git -- version. Right, so Git version. So you have already got Git, very good. Now here you can clone now. So say Git clone, Git clone. So this is the first time you're getting. So we'll say Git clone space. And what is the syntax mentioned? Git clone space, and then we give the URL.
Yeah, HTTP
Yes, sir.
//
Yeah, HTTPS :/ github.com/machomath /web programming. Is it WP or web programming full?
Web programming summer 2020.
Huh?
Yeah, sir. Full name.
Web
Full.
programming summer.
Full summer 2020.git. Right, enter. So it is cloning and it has cloned the entire code. Go back to your folder. Right, so you have got this entire code over here, right, automatically. And now you can open the atom. So please open atom. And here, add file, add project folder. And here select this folder. Okay, it's all right if you want to select this parent folder, but normally we select the inner one, right? Okay, it's all right. So now you have this code, right? And now you can work on it, whatever the way you want to work on, right? So anybody else who have downloaded the previous code but wants us to show him or her that, how to get the new code? Sanjana, you can unshare your screen, please. Thank you very much. So anyone else wants to share the Kamilish? Where are you? Have you got this code already?
Yes, sir, got it.
Okay, great. So anyway, so I will think that, so you have got your homework that you are going to create your resume page, right? And now I want you this thing that spent like 10 minutes on this code, and I will come back and discuss it with you that what do you get out of it, right? So let me pause my screen over here and let me come back in 10 minutes, okay? So please stay cool and show up in 10 minutes, okay? And meanwhile, examine this code and see that how is it working, and maybe, try to do something different over here and see that, how does it work, okay? So that yes, Kamilish.
Yes, sir.
So would you like to share your screen with us?
Sure, sir.
Great, thank you very much. Go on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me, so tell us that what did you explore as code during these 10 minutes? So just open the code in the editor.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, great. So tell us that what did you explore in this code?
Uh, I was exploring about the function, sir. Like
Okay.
you added the function over here, right?
So did you give it a try that, in line number, for example, 31,
Okay.
right? In line number 31, there's a negative sign. So why don't you try to make it a positive sign?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Did you give it a try?
I didn't give it a try, but
Okay. Okay, let's try it now. Save it
yes, sir. I
and
saved.
reload the code in your browser.
Yeah.
Okay, reload it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, just enter numbers 12,
And 12.
12 and 12. Okay, right.
Uh,
Oh, what is this? Say it again.
When we give the plus sign, it acts like some of the strings sort of
string.
thing.
So this is string concatenation. So plus is like overloaded, right? So it can be addition, it can be string. So what is the solution to this problem? So definitely we can go and check it on the internet, but let's try a little bit, a humble solution. So just go to the second number before the second number in the same line, in the
Okay.
same line.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, just move your cursor little, right before the second number, where the second number is written, before
Yes.
it, in
Before.
front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here add another plus sign,
Another
plus sign,
plus. Okay.
right? Save it and not write,
Okay.
right? If it doesn't work over here in this version, we'll try something else. Okay.
Okay. Something. Oh, it's not working. Sir.
It's not working, right? So now you can open a browser window.
Oh, yes.
And just Google, go to Google.
You have to parse.
Yeah, I know. Very good, very good. But we need to know that how to get this solution, right? So just write JavaScript JS space add two numbers TWO, add two numbers, enter, right? And here if we go to look, this W3 school is basic link, I don't think they are going to tell you anything about it, right? So maybe if you have some Stack Overflow link over here somewhere, right? Stack Overflow, so add two numbers connect. So because somebody is having trouble, so they are asking the community. So see that what does the community tell, right? So Stack Overflow is a good resource, right?
Yeah.
So go to the answer, go down. Okay, here they are saying
Plus y plus. Okay.
okay, so they are saying that plus use plus plus, right, with space. So this is one solution, and let's see what is the other solution. And look, the other solution, this is actually going to work always. So method, not parse, parse we use something parse also, but this number is a pretty decent solution, right? So we like create an object of number over here, so we can do the just this number, right? So this parse int, you can say you can need to use JavaScript parse int, right? So we can use parse int also sometimes, but it's all right if we use just number, right? So go back over there in your editor. So just try the plus solution first. So go to the first in front of first number.
Yeah.
Just add another plus, right? Save it.
Save it and
reload it.
yeah.
So once I ask you to explore some code, make some changes into it and try something like, for example, I thought that you guys will try plus, for example. So reload, okay,
Yes,
and
sir.
now put some values.
Yeah, now it's working.
Right? So it's working, right? This solution is working. So you can use this solution. This is a simple solution. It works, right? Definitely you can use number. That solution works also. You can use %. That solution also works. Right? Any question?
No, sir.
Right? Okay, so I'll stop over here. So everybody must explore and start working on your homework. And I will see you all on Monday, right? With some new JavaScript things. Meanwhile, keep on working on your homework. If you want to have me for your office hours, I am available right now. You can stay in the conversation. Otherwise, you can simply drop out. Thank you very much. And you have a good rest of the day. Goodbye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Welcome.